Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. Tonight I want to take a look at a monster. And I don't like to do that particularly because I think we need to remember our heroes much more than our monsters. But one was loose in New York City today. A man by the name of Frank Roberts James opened fire in a crowded subway car after igniting some smoke bombs, and 10 people were shot. I'm curious and suspicious, and I think justifiably so, because of how hard it is to get to the bottom of things and get truth in our world. And I find it incredibly suspicious that about all the thousands of cameras that are working in New York City, the 3 that could have identified this gunman more easily weren't functioning. The 3 that may have actually even aided in stopping the event weren't working. So I find that suspicious. You know, cameras seem to have a way of not working at convenient times for bad things to happen. And that's a shame. So I want to move past that a little bit. Let's talk, first of all, another reason why I thought this was kind of interesting. According to the New York Post, Mr. James purchased the smoke bombs he used, which were just those smoke firework type that you can have at family picnics on the 4th of July. Once again, it just depends on what your intent is with something, not necessarily what the thing is. Anyway, he purchased them, last June. And that speaks to premeditation. And then the suspicious camera outages, that has me going, and probably a lot of you too. So let's ask the universe if Mr. James performed this act solely on his own discretion. I'm going to ask, was he programmed, prodded, incentivized to do what he did? And then after that, let's think about how he was caught. He called Crime Stoppers on himself and then fled the scene. And a citizen ID'd him and helped him get her apprehended. Let's remember our heroes, not our monsters. But first, I'd just like to ask, was this gentleman acting on his own without prodding, provocation, or incentivized by outside forces? Let's see what the universe has to say, because I think it's a very interesting question. I'll change the camera. You can watch me do a little more shuffling, and we'll see what the universe wants to tell us. Okay, let's see about Mr. James. Our question is indicated by the Knight of Swords. And it's a good one to have because he's wanting to charge into a situation and resolve it. And our situation, justice, we're wondering, will justice be served with just the apprehension of this one person? Looking at the past, now that he's been apprehended, the citizens in New York are safer. They are safer. There's been a lot of swiftly moving events happening. And you know, speaking of events, we've been talking about the ones that are being talked about by the guardians. And I believe Mr. James had free will. I don't know if he was incentivized, you know, to do what he did or goaded into it. if he already had the seeds of hatred, if someone helped fan them and set him off. He had free will, though, where he could have taken a different path and chose instead to harm others. And I feel like there is a connection between that goading or incentivizing and events that maybe have been avoided in the near future. Is someone having a tantrum and humans are paying a price for it? I guess time will tell. The mainstream media won't, but maybe time will. Okay. Our advice card. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Things are looking positive and better. There are going to be some discoveries, and it's going to directly, he's looking right back at the Devil card. We will have some discoveries, and there will be some disclosures about this that maybe will shake a few people's worldview or their comfort zone. But the actions he took were his alone, but in the background, there's other energies at work. That's it for this read. I would love to live in a world. Do you know Mr. James had a social media account and he ranted and spewed hatred on it? And he wasn't censored. He didn't get strikes. His account wasn't taken down. It may be gone now. And I have to be careful how many times I say the word children when I do a video for you. That is not the world or the timeline I want to live in, or the one I'm working toward. Until next time, stay safe. Good night. Okay, the personal item tonight, I was just going to say and share, because I try to be very, very honest with you. I exercise my Second Amendment rights. I am a gun owner. I would never use my gun for anything but self-protection, or one of my guns. I have more than one, but I would use them for self-protection. Once again, it's all about intent. The knife in the hand of a criminal makes a far different cut than a skilled surgeon with a scalpel. Good night.